We have our first official video of Stranger Things Season 5, and it is actually a behind the scenes video posted by Netflix yesterday, as I posted on this community post as well. But let me tell you, this behind the scenes video is actually taken from the documentary that we have been talking about on this channel for quite some time now, that Netflix is making a documentary on Stranger Things Season 5, and this behind the scenes video was definitely pulled out from that same documentary. Anyways, let's start with breaking down this entire behind the scenes video. But before we start, let me just quickly tell you that whatever things that we have been discussing on this channel every week on Sunday on the weekly Stranger Things video, some of the things were actually seen in this behind the scenes video as well. The first thing that we get is of this castle bias, and if you remember, this was the picture posted by Ross Duffer himself on Instagram, and this might well be the first ever scene of Stranger Things Season 5, because in the month of October, I guess, Ross Duffer posted this picture, and this was actually the first scene of Stranger Things 5, and which we have theorized that it could be a flashback to Season 1 when Will Byers was taken into the Upside Down and when he was singing "Should I Stay or Should I Go?" This particular scene, in fact. So this scene in this behind the scenes video might well be the first ever scene of Stranger Things Season 5, and also that could be a flashback to Season 1. But that will not just be a flashback, because it will be an extension of what Will Byers went through into the Upside Down, so it will be extended further as well. Then we get this scene in which our almost whole gang is present here. We can definitely see Steve, Dustin, Mike, Lucas, Jonathan, Nancy, Will, and obviously the best mother, Joyce Byers. But the question is, where are they? Which is this exact location? So let me remind you again that we have been talking a lot about on this channel about various locations in Stranger Things Season 5, and notably there are this WSQK radio station set, then there is this farm set, then there's this Hawkins High School, then we have the Hawkins Lab as well. But the new set, which is the most curious one, is the WSQK radio station, and this is the interior of that same radio station. And we have also talked about how important the radio station is going to be. And just for a moment, just keep in mind the clothes that Dustin, Lucas, Mike and Will are wearing, because it will be connected in some of the future pictures. Then we have the scene of the lab, the Hawkins Lab, which is entirely covered in the vine. So we'll actually can't say that if this picture is taken from the real Upside Down or from the real world. Then we get a picture of this tunnel, and as you might remember, in Season 2 we got to see the tunnels below the pumpkin farms, and this could be a reference to that. Now I am not sure whether this tunnel is a new tunnel or that old tunnel, which could be a flashback to Season 2. And we actually got a picture of a similar tunnel from Ross Duffer a while back on his Instagram. Then we have Sadie Sink going through the wardrobe of different people, and we can see how gigantic the entire setting is here. But then she waits on and pulls out this jacket, and this is obviously the jacket that she wore famously in Stranger Things Season 4. Then we have perhaps the main guy of Stranger Things Season 5, Will Byers. Now there are a couple of times where there has been an emphasis on radios, or there has been an emphasis on walkie-talkies, and this is the first one. Now this director over here, he is actually Frank Darabont. Now let me remind you, Jeff Snyder, who is one of the insiders of the industry, he actually revealed the titles of the first 6 episodes of Stranger Things 5, and also the directors that might be directing all those 6 episodes. And according to that list, episode number 2, 3 and 5 were going to be directed by the director Frank Darabont, and here we can definitely confirm that, because this guy over here is Frank Darabont, who has actually directed Shawshank Redemption. Then we have our first look at Millie Bobby Brown, and I think she is inside that radio station itself, because if we minus this jacket, then we can connect this scene to this scene that we got a while back. It is actually a picture from the paparazzi, so we can definitely connect these two scenes. Then we get a first look at real life lovebirds, Natalie Dyer and Charlie Heaton. Then we have Caleb entering the set and possibly sitting here with Sadie Sink. But if we zoom in, Sadie Sink under this black jacket, we can see this white piece of clothing, and it might not be wrong to assume that this is the hospital gown that she might be wearing for the entirety of the season. Then we have our main villain, Vecna. Now this is definitely the Upside Down, and this is the woods. Now this is where I want to say that the entire promotion that we have got for Stranger Things Season 5 up till now, that means it just includes the pictures or videos posted by Ross Duffer or some of the cast members, or this behind the scenes video, because in this behind the scenes video we can definitely see Mrs. Wheeler in this denim jacket, and she actually uploaded a video in this same denim jacket few months ago. So you can see that how they have planned everything here. Now as I said, just keep in mind the clothes that these 4 guys are wearing in this photo, and you can definitely match all of these clothes in this picture as well, where they are strolling through the corridors of Hawkins High School. Here we can see Dustin riding a bike, and I think that he is going to the graveyard where Eddie Munson could be buried. And we actually got a behind the scenes picture of Dustin Henderson in the same clothes, and we also got a paparazzi pictures. We also got a few paparazzi pictures from that same location, and there is a picture connecting to this exact scene further in this behind the scenes video as well. Now you might be wondering who this lady is. She is actually Linda Hamilton, who is going to play a key role in Stranger Things season 5. But here in this video she just arrives and she just says that I am a big fan of this show, and that's it. But according to the rumors, she will play a very important figure in the military. Then we have Mike Wheeler getting into this room, and this is actually the basement of Mike Wheeler, and he says that he's excited to shoot scenes with the original 4, and here we get it. Here we get the scenes with the original 4, and I doubt that this is going to be the actual scene, because yeah, we can all see that they're wearing jackets and we can see a lot of coffee mugs down there as well. So this is just the rehearsal scenes, but yeah, it feels so good to see all of them together. Now we actually got a paparazzi picture of Joyce Byers a while back, and she was wearing the same clothes, and she might be in the basement of the Wheeler's residence, but I think so that this might be the same WSQK radio station, because she is heavily connected to that radio station. Now this is the big one. This is actually Nell Fisher, the actor who is being cast to play Holly Wheeler. And let me remind you, remember I talked about the rumored titles from Jeff Snyder for the first 6 episodes of Stranger Things season 5. The second episode's title, he said it's going to be The Vanishing of Dash Wheeler, and we actually theorized that it could be The Vanishing of Holly Wheeler. And yeah, this is the scene. This has to be the scene from that same episode, or at least the end of the first episode, where Holly will be pushed into vanishing. But in season 2 she'll be vanished, and this is going to be one of those scenes, because here we can definitely say that the lights are flickering. That means Vecna is coming. But here the scene actually changes, and from the bedroom she actually goes into the kitchen, and I think this is where she'll be vanished. And I do assume that there's going to be no one at the house when she gets vanished. Now this is actually a new character over here, and he is named as Derek, and he might be the friend of Erica over here. And this is actually the second set or the second filming location that we talked about. The first new one was the WSQK radio station, and the second one is this farm set. Now remember what I talked about, the graveyard pictures of Dustin Henderson. Now these are the same exact pictures. We can definitely say that this is the graveyard, and Dustin is also wearing the same clothes. But here is something that is curious. Why are the basketball guys over here? Why are they here? Because they were kind of one of the antagonists of the entire Stranger Things season 4. So why are they here? Then this is again the scene which was shot in the WSQK radio station, and this is obviously Charlie Heaton. Here in this scene we can see Nancy along with her brother. Now something bad might have happened, so that's why they are running, but the question is, where are they running? Is this the school or is this the hospital? But if we zoom in, we can see some posters on this window over here, and I think that could be a guy over here, and I think this could be a missing report that we that are printed on flyers. So this might be that missing flyer, maybe. And that means there are again kids being kidnapped in season 5. So the terror of Vecna has not left Hawkins. Now who is this guy? This guy is actually Bald Eagle. Now I absolutely love this picture, because we have Robin along with Joyce Byers, and this is again the same radio station set. But the thing which is curious to me is the clothes. They are actually wearing the same clothes over here, and that actually makes me wonder that are they actually working at this radio station officially? Now for the longest time I was thinking that the radio station may be closed, and by closed I mean that it might not be working anymore, that there might not be people working there. But now I think given the same clothes of Joyce and Robin, they might be officially working at this radio station and then using that radio station at night when the radio is off, maybe. Now this is again pretty interesting, because here we can see Sean Levy, who is definitely going to direct at least 2 episodes I think. But with him we have Steve Harrington, and keep an eye on the clothes of Steve here. It definitely connects to this scene over here, in which we can also see Jonathan in the back. And let me remind you, Ross Dover posted this picture a while back, and again we made a lot of theories that how this scene could be taking place in the Upside Down, and in this car there could be Steve, Nancy, Jonathan and Dustin Henderson. And guess what? Here we can see all of them, and they are definitely in the Upside Down. Now this has to be the continuation of this scene that we got earlier, and here we can obviously see that the 3 of the guys are actually talking in the back, but our guy Will Byers has just got that calling or that sixth sense or that Vecna sense, like Spidey sense, and he just starts to wander around the woods. Now here again, Will Byers is wearing the same clothes over here. I mean the sweater is the same, and on top of that sweater he's usually wearing this jacket. But now let's talk about this scene. On Noah Schnapp's birthday, Ross Dover posted this picture wishing him happy birthday, and I think that picture was shot here itself inside the radio station. Then we have the first picture of Jim Hopper, and he is definitely on a mission, and he might be in the upside down, because if we zoom in and we can see this thing over here could be the part of the vines, and he is actually not happy because you can see him shouting. And this beard look, god, it's great. And we actually got his first look while back from Ross Duffer on his Instagram. Now take a look at this picture. Now this picture can definitely be connected to this picture that we had earlier into this behind the scenes video, and we said that this scene is actually being connected to a lot of scenes, and this scene could be connected to this scene over here. But the interesting part here is that this guy is getting flipped over, but I wonder who that guy is. Now I think this is another new character over here because they have given a separate frame to him, but I don't know who that is, but he definitely looks to be connected to the military. Here we have Vecna again in his whole Vecnified form, because at the end of season 4 when he was burnt down, we were wondering whether he'll have the same form or whether he'll be transforming into another creepy monster. But yeah, by the looks of it, it definitely looks like it is the same costume, or it is the same form that Vecna is going to take in this season as well. Now this was the most curious picture, because yeah, this is definitely Will Byers, but this is Will Byers' body double, who is a younger guy, because as I said at the start of this video that there are going to be a lot of scenes which will be flashbacks, but those flashbacks will be continuation of when Will Byers was taken into the Upside Down in season 1. So we definitely know that Will Byers was taken into the Upside Down, but we do not know that how he survived the Upside Down and what happened to him into the Upside Down, and these scenes will actually cover that. But the curious thing here is that he's been dropped through that tree over here. I mean, that really looks cruel. And another interesting thing, he's actually having that backpack on his back, and just think about it, little Will Byers actually taken into the Upside Down, and he's just running through the Upside Down having his backpack. I mean, then we have the final picture of Millie Bobby Brown fighting Vecna. Probably this is the same scene that we connected to this scene, but the clothes are interesting over here. It's a really interesting choice of clothes over here. Well, that's all I want to talk about in this video. I know this has been a long video, but I do hope that the amount of time that we invested on this video, it was worth it, because we literally went through every frame possibly. And yeah, please share in the comments what do you guys think about all of this breakdown and the main original video as well. So yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching.